Hello everyone, this is WAC Writing as a Career. My name is Judith Chinecherem, the founder of Stoner Writing Academy, where we help people turn writing into a profitable career. Over the next 3 days, I'll be guiding you through what writing really is, how to find your niche, the power of storytelling, and how to create a profitable career through writing. I hope you're ready for the ride. Let's dive right into it. On the first subtopic of today, we have common myths about writing. This is basically the misconceptions that people have made about writing over the years and how this has led the narrative and gotten other people to see writing in a different light. The first on this list is the idea that people have that writers don't make money. This is totally a big misconception and is totally wrong because writers are actually one of the highest paid people in the world today. Writing is a journey, is a process, and sometimes it seems slow but is stable and increases in value, especially when the person increases in skill. So the better you get at writing, the more income you make. That's why people always feel like writing is not profitable because they're not seeing it as a fast way to make money. They're not seeing it that the money is coming quickly. That's why they think that it is not profitable. The second on this list is you must study English or literature to be a writer. No. At SWA, 90% of the writers on SWA community are neither English nor literature students, but they are people who have learned to pen down their thoughts and convert their skill into a career and a way of life. Many people will tell you that as a writer, you need to do so much, you need to be very, very skilled in English and literature. But no, writing is more about how you communicate to people than how you use English and literature. There are some writers that use native language in their books and people relate more to it because they know exactly what the writer is talking about. Some copywriters tend to use more pidgin in their copyright because it speaks more to the Nigerian people. Nigerian people relate on a different level when they hear pidgin or see where a writer uses pidgin in any of their pieces. This is just simply a way that a writer can relate to people with what they know that the people resonate to. Another misconception or myth about writing is writing can only be a side hustle and not a career path. This mindset is what have led so many young writers to think that writing is a get-rich-quick scheme, which it is not. If you feel like you're here to make money fast and writing is going to make you millions fast, I'm sorry, this class is not for you. Without putting in proper work and becoming intentional about perfecting your skill, you will not gain anything from writing. But writing, once you learn it, you realize that almost every industry needs writers. Every industry, as a writer, you can work anywhere. You can work in a fashion company, you can work with a blog, you can work with a podcast, you can work with so many people because writing is so diversified that every industry now wants writers. They now want people that can put in the work and come up with something very, very creative. And lastly, you must not publish a book to be taken seriously. Many young writers, this is very common in young writers, they feel like before they can be recognized as a writer, they need to publish a book. They need to write something that is going to impress people, to make people to see them as good or as focused. But the honest truth is that as a young writer, if you go and write a book to start your career, nobody will read your book. You cannot be a beginner at something and write a book about it and expect people that are growing at that thing to read the book. Instead of focusing on publishing a book, you should think more and work more on perfecting your skill. Writing a book can come at any point in your career, but at the beginning of your career, you're meant to be focusing on how to perfect your skill, how to put more experiences in your portfolio, how to become better at what you do, rather than going to look for a way to write a book, and a book that nobody will read. Why writing matters in 2025? Many people have resulted into saying that nobody needs writers because everybody is using AI, blah, 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 blah. But that is wrong. Writing is a high income skill. And now that AI is now sort of a competition, writing has even become more valuable. Because these establishments, these big establishments that you see, don't want AI generated content. Because the best way they use to sell their market is by relating to their customers. By relating to people, you need to be an expert at storytelling, and AI is not an expert at storytelling. Yes, it is good at generating content, but storytelling is meant for humans because of the emotions that humans put into storytelling. And also, many of us are wondering that where are we going to get jobs from? With how the job market is, everybody's learning a skill. I don't think there's going to be any job for me when I'm done learning how to write. But that's a lie. If you go on LinkedIn, you realize that there are a lot of job opportunities out there. A lot of establishments are looking for writers. Whether it's content writers, copywriters, bloggers, fictional writers, and so on and so forth. Everybody is looking for writers. Everybody wants a writer in their team. Because writers are very versatile and dynamic, that every part of any industry, every thing that goes on in today's world need a writer. Both events and so on, they need writers, and writers are needed for these kind of things. So instead of worrying so much about whether you are going to get jobs or not, learn the skill to the point where you are so confident that you are going to get jobs, and when you go online you're going to get jobs. There's something about writing. When you learn writing to a certain point, it feels like a superpower. When you learn writing, you get your first job, you get your second job. There's no stopping you, because now you have enough experience to know the kind of jobs that work for you and the ones that do not work for you. So you go over and over again. The more you get jobs, the more experience you gain, and the more your skill level increases. And there was something I said about skill level. The higher your skill level, the more income you tend to make. So instead of focusing on how to make it big now, focus on the compounding effect of learning it up to the point that you become highly skilled in it, that you earn enough money that you need from it. As long as you can learn it and learn it to the point of becoming good at it, you can earn from it. That's the logic of writing. Now we are going to talk about what is writing. What exactly is writing? Writing at its very core is not about fancy grammar or complex words or trying to impress. Writing is about communication. About your readers being able to relate to what you have penned down from your thoughts. It is about turning your thoughts into words to speak to your audience. Writing is not about trying to make people see that you are good or trying to look good. Writing is more about the effects, the impact you make on people. Whether it's writing a tweet, writing a love letter to your lover, writing Instagram captions, writing short stories, writing a poem. Writing is about communication. As long as you're doing any of these things, you're writing and you are communicating to people. Some of us here will write, sometimes we'll type something on our WhatsApp status and just send it. That's writing, that's communicating, that's relating to people with your words. You're already doing writing on a daily basis. You're already doing it every day. Every time you stop to think about what you're going to type next, you're already writing. You just have to become more intentional about learning it in a professional way and using it as a career, as a means of livelihood, as a part of your life. So that is what writing is. Writing is you doing all those things that you feel like was not anything. That is writing. But learning it on a larger scale is for you to be able to make something out of it, to make something meaningful out of it. I know you're already asking yourself, what kind of writer would you be? How will you find your own niche? How will you become that writer that you want to be? The first step to becoming that writer you want to be is to find your niche. And I'm very sure that most of you are struggling with finding your niche. The thing about writing is that the options are wild. They are dynamic. They are vast. And you need to be able to choose something. And by choosing something, I don't mean that you must choose something. I'll use myself as an example. I am a fiction writer. I mostly write fiction and I write poems because these are the ones that resonate with who I am, and they're the ones that call to me most. They're the ones I love doing. I cannot write what I don't like. And that does not also mean that I don't write content or I don't do copywriting. It just simply means that the ones I am more focused on are fiction writing and writing poems. So how you will find your niche is to be able to know what you want, know what the kind of writer you want to be first of all, before you think. There's fiction writing, there's non-fiction writing, there's content writing, there's copywriting, there's blog writing, there's poem writing, there's script writing. There are so many branches of writing, so many, and you have all the time in the world to choose the one that will work for you. Choose the one that you want to build your career around. The beautiful thing about choosing a niche in writing is not because you need to choose a niche, is because you want to build a career around that niche. You want to build your writing career around that particular niche. So find your niche. And in the next topic, I'm going to tell you exactly how you will find your niche in writing. How to know where you fit. How to find your niche. How to know where to base your strengths on, and where you're going to put your work into. The first thing you need to do is to ask yourself, what topic excites you? Is it content? Is it copy? Is it fiction? Is it blogs? Is it scripts? What topics excite you? What do you see and you get excited to read or you get excited to write about? Another thing is, what type of content do you enjoy reading? Do you love reading novels, or you love reading poems, or you love reading content? The thing about writing is that I always tell all my students, a good writer must be a good reader, because you cannot be a good writer and you are not exactly a reader. Even if you're not reading novels, all those big novels, even if you're reading blog posts, you're reading things, you're reading posts on LinkedIn, you're reading posts here, posts on Instagram, you must be a good reader if you are a good writer. Is as simple as that. So what gets you excited? What do you enjoy reading? What do you like reading? When you see this thing and you're like, wow, I'm excited, I want to know what is going on here. I want to know, sometimes you see prompts concerning this, and you be tempted to try to write it. You want to see what your brain will be able to make out of it. That's your niche. That is what you know how to do. And I will always tell everybody, chase down what you know how to do and what you like doing, rather than what you want to do. Because when you follow what you feel like you should do and what you want to do, you don't exactly grow fast in that area. But when you're doing something that you love doing, no matter the challenges you face learning it, you want to keep learning it. So if it's content writing that you know appeals to you, that calls you, that is what you should niche down on. Don't try to do something so that you feel among, you want to come and do copy when you know that that's not your calling. Follow what is calling you. This first class is basically an introduction, and by the next class I want most of you to have had a little bit of clarity with what part of writing you want to niche down on. It will not also hurt if you try to test multiple types of writing, test multiple genre of writing, test multiple sections of writing or branches of writing. It's not going to hurt you if you do that. It's just you experimenting to know exactly what you want. So you can do that. You can just test it and see how it goes and check the one that works well for you. Or you can also use this prompt. If I had to only write about a particular thing for the next 365 days, what would that be? When you are answering a particular question, write your answer down. Just keep writing. It's going to make sense the more you write. You're going to gain more clarity from it. So write it. Just keep writing till you actually gain the clarity. Then you know your niche. And if you have any questions, or you can just come on the WhatsApp group and ask, or you can come to my DM and ask. That works too. Writing skills to start developing. The first thing that you do as a new writer, that you want to start writing, you want to start testing yourself and seeing how good you can write, first thing you should take note of is that you need to start from where you are and grow into the writer you want to become. For your first task, don't rush into trying to impress somebody, trying to impress people that are reading, or trying to impress yourself even. You want to use big grammar, you want to use big metaphors, you want to use big figures of speech. That is so unnecessary. Just try to be the authentic version of yourself and write that way. When you write like that, it gives room for you to see where you have made mistakes and be able to grow into the writer you want to become. Writing is just like a game. The more you play it, the more you understand it, and the more you get better at it. So if you don't allow yourself to be in the beginner phase before you graduate into the expert phase, and you want to run straight to the expert phase, you will be forced to crash down back to the beginner's phase. So at the end of the day, you will still reach the beginner's phase. So just try to take yourself step by step. It's better to grow at your own pace, at the pace that you understand, than for you to want to rush to the pace that you are not even cut out for. Write in the way that you understand and you know that other people can understand too. You should focus more on how your readers will resonate with your writing than how impressed they will be by your writing. Because it's better that somebody understands something than for the person to be impressed, than for the person to want to be impressed, but the person is not impressed. So, you understand? I know you understand what I'm saying. So, another thing is to learn basic grammar and punctuation. Just as I said, you need to read books. You need to read books in your niche. Basic grammar, punctuation is just simple punctuation that you are supposed to know from secondary school. But if you have any questions concerning this particular topic, I think I will treat it in one of these days. And you can ask me questions here. You can ask me questions. And the next one is, your storytelling skill is exactly what make your writing unforgettable. And this is not even a lie. When you are a good storyteller and people resonate with your writing, with your storytelling, they are subconsciously hooked to you hooked to your work, hooked to your pieces without even knowing it. Anytime they see your name that you're about to write something new, or they see a story or a blog post or a copy that you've written, they'll be forced to read it because they love your writing. They resonate to your writing. That's the power of storytelling. And we are going to learn about storytelling tomorrow. Another thing is to be as authentic and original as possible. Don't try to imitate or overperform or make yourself look better than you are. This is not going to work. I'm saying it, this is the second time I'm saying it is not going to work. That being said, the next one is always make good research on your writing, especially for those that want to get into content, copywriting, blog post, script writing. When you want to write, before you start writing on a topic, go and read about the topic. Read about it extensively. And when you're done, you cannot write about it. You may think that you don't know anything about it. You'll be reading it. You'll just be reading the articles about it and you'll be like, it's boring, or you don't know anything. But when you start writing, you realize that your creative mind is going to tap into that information that was stored when you were reading it. So even if you feel like you're not going to understand it, just read it. It helps a lot. And once again, read books in your niche. If this book is resonating with the niche you are, like the part of writing you are niching down on, read books concerning it. People that write these books have experiences in that particular branch of writing. So read books concerning it. Read articles, read posts concerning it. It helps you a lot. This is the end of our class, and I'm expecting a lot of questions, ideas, feedback from each and every one of you. I'm expecting you to give me your unfiltered thoughts concerning your writing, where you have challenges, what you think I can help you with, anything at all. Just drop a comment under this post and I'm going to see it. Meanwhile, we have a task to be submitted tomorrow. The assignment is, what kind of writer do you want to be and why? It will submit before 9 a.m. tomorrow. In 2 paragraphs, a minimum of 100 words. You can attach a sample of what you've written before, if it's okay with you. You can attach a sample of what you've written before so I can just go through it. And I want everybody to participate in this assignment and submit it on the group chat so that we can talk about it tomorrow morning. Thank you very much for being in this class. I will go through the comments and answer everybody I can answer. I will answer everybody. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.